Yo, mic check, everyday Superpower signing in. Let's speak game, alright? Let's talk about lying, let's talk about telling untruths, okay? Lying once, or at least being found out to lie in a blatant and quite potentially disrespectful manner once to another individual will forever devalue your character and the respect you garner from that individual, okay? And that's on the flip side as well. You as a perceptive individual with key observational skills, all right, with great perceptive skills, who has identified that somebody is lying to your face, you should forever deem them capable of lying to you from there on in, okay? Now, you have to understand that white lies do happen. To lubricate general conversation, perhaps it's unnecessary for you to, state certain information that may be blunt and hurtful, or so on and so forth. But we're not going to discuss little white lies today. We're going to talk about blatant, barefaced lying to your face, and not 20 times, just the one time, okay? So, management positions, supervisor positions, CEOs of companies, and teachers, and those whom you deal with in an authoritarian manner, perhaps you yourself attain a role of such, and you are speaking to a subordinate. The moment you lie to the subordinate, or the moment you as a subordinate perceive your management, your boss, your authority figure as a liar, now don't get me wrong, they will lie to you. Yeah, it's the pimp game. They're going to be looking at you and trying to violate you, exploit you, to create abundance for themselves while giving you as little as they can do. They're gonna lie to you, right? But instead of barefaced lying in an insecure manner, it's their job to avoid any instances as to where they have to do so, alright? Let's talk about something else, alright? Politicians don't respond to the question, they talk about something else when it doesn't need to be addressed, at least in their world. If you come to me and I'm supposed to respect you as my management, if I'm supposed to look at you as a voice of reason and somebody who's to care for me and somebody who's gonna pay my bills and gonna ensure that I can provide for my family and so on and so forth, the moment you look to me and tell me an untruth, I can't respect that no further. Let's take it to reality, yeah? Because I'm speaking from the heart here, yeah? I'm a grown man. If you're a grown man and you come to me and you lie about petty things, right? I'm into training. I'm a strong man. I got a manager. He's a big man. It's a separate story, but he's evidently insecure about his weight, but he looks big and strong. He's stocky. Alright, he holds it well. But he comes to me, talks about training. I'm supposed to respect this man, take orders off this man. He came to me once and he lied about what he's pushing in the gym. He's come to somebody who's got experience, and his insecurities have come to the forefront. And he's lied, and what he's done is indirectly disrespected me in doing so, because he's heard what I'm doing and he's had to compete and put himself above and beyond me. There is nothing wrong. I would rather you be humble. I would rather You be an honest individual, and then we can engage in conversation as to which we can both build. I can teach and learn off of you, and you can listen, understand, and progress in your world and get out of that space where you have to lie. But instead, you have to lie to my face. Now, I don't say anything, I just listen and learn, especially when it comes to a workplace hierarchy. Who am I to compete with you within that particular field? But I don't respect you any further. I know a multi-millionaire. I want to be a man like that at some point, or at least possess the resource this individual has. But we're engaging in conversation, and they tell me, how old are you? Or when I was your age, I possessed this and I possessed that. As a way of putting me down inadvertently. Now, the problem with this is I'm not inspired or motivated by such comment, because I know this person's history, because outside of their awareness, I've researched this person. Because I look into people with a deeper depth as to what I assume people look into me. I don't say much, I just listen and learn. They don't know that I'm observant. I'm an introverted individual. I pay attention, I'm critical with what I see. I assess, analyse, and do the math. I calculate on regards to what this person is saying, how they're reacting, how they are communicating, how they are engaging. It's important for me, it's a survival mechanism for me, and I understand that. It comes down, it's rooted in my childhood, and that's why I excel within this particular field. So this multi-millionaire whom I wish to possess the resources of, or at least alike one day, for comfort for me and those around me, comes to me and says, I possessed this at your age. Such as the man who lied about pushing more weight than me. And trust me, when it comes to how do you know he wasn't, when you excel in a field, when you have a well-rounded knowledge in a field through an excess of experience, you can identify from the get-go what somebody is capable of. You yourself, you will be interested in something in particular, whether it be video games, whether it be cooking, whether it be, construction, or so on and so forth. When a man comes to you with a ridiculous claim and your gut feeling is, you're lying to me, that is more than likely the case, because you will be perceptive enough to understand from the get-go as to whether it makes sense, purely as you've seen it, you've been there, you've done that, you've got the t-shirt, you've been around individuals who have been in that space, right? The math doesn't add up, it doesn't add up, full stop. So I've done research on this millionaire because I want to be like this person, or at least I thought I did. But they've come to me and they've lied. And it's not the case of you've purely just lied, so now I know you're a liar. It's you've lied, knowing very well, maybe subconsciously, potentially, that you're putting me down in the process. You're saying, I've had more than you. When I was at your age, I was better than you. I possessed what you wanted. And given it was the truth, I could perceive it as motivational, and I could seek guidance in game as to how I could progress. But sometimes the authoritarian figure just needs to crush you down a little lower, Now, when it comes to lying and liars, you go from 0 to 100. Because if you're truthful and honest to me and avoid communication where you have to outright lie, now, a lot of it comes from insecurity. The majority of it comes from insecurity, and some of it will come from just allowing yourself to speak too much, It's got a parallel, a synchronicity with talking bad on people and then being friendly to their face. If you come to me and you start bad mouthing someone whom I see you being friendly with in person, I'm going to perceive you in the same manner. It's a showcase of what you're capable of. It's a characteristic of your character. You are capable of lying to me, looking at me eye to eye. I can't respect that because I know you're capable of doing it again. I've had to deal with lawyers, yeah? When I'm assessing law firms, people I need to communicate with in a way which there is a necessity they speak to me and understand me and I understand them, and we need to trust each other. I'm looking at law firms. I signed a contract with one, yeah? 14-day cooling off period. I could cancel within 14 days, this contractual basis. I'm looking at the reviews, something doesn't add up. I'm starting to see a uniform in regards to how some of these reviews are written. I find a setup, I find 2 reviews which essentially say the same thing, just a couple of words changed, more or less completely alike. 2 different profiles with 2 different women's names have left that. You're trying to deceive me. How can I trust your firm? How can I trust your business? Now don't get me wrong, a competitor could set this up in order to create this distrust and fight off their competition. To the unobservant eye, they could just overlook this and see 5-star reviews. But if you look a little deeper and understand the deception and how you're trying to lie to me, a potential client, that's a showcase of how you could do that to me full stop once I sign the contract and once we start getting the ball rolling. And that's my money, my time, and my commitment to you as a professional you're throwing away by doing so. Do not go out of your way to barefaced lie. If you yourself are insecure over anything, be honest with yourself, look inside, and take ownership of who you are. You don't need to cover it up and overcompensate, because you will be caught out very, very fast. It's a reoccurring concept on this channel, but it really is one of, in my opinion, one of the primary principles of sussing people out and understanding if they're good or bad for you, or how close you can allow them to be. If they do it once, they will do it again because they have proven themselves to be capable of the action. If you're in a relationship and the other party cheats on you and lies to you about that or conceals that from you, it's a showcase that they're capable of doing it, and they will do it again. They will be found out, and you may be deceived into believing things will change. But as I said earlier, once a person lies to your face, it goes from 0, complete trust, complete honesty, to 100%. And let's say you go 5 years from there on and nothing actually happens. They've still lied to you once. At the very least, your trust should go back to, I trust that person 99%. Because your subconscious has been bitten, you know? When we go through PTSD, alright? I've got PTSD. I've been in a couple of traumatic situations, and I'm not relating this to like being in a romantic relationship, but once the brain has experienced a sharp shock, it will remain within your subconscious and you will act accordingly from there on, perhaps outside of your conscious awareness. So you will never ever really look at that person in the same way again, because you will be aware of what they're capable of, and it's only going to be hurtful to yourself as you lie to yourself and believe things are different. Alright? I'm signing out. Everyday Superpower. Peace.